and welcome back to another gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free baking video. How are we doing today? Today I'm going to be making an American pancake tray cake. That is of course going to be gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free. You will be needing the following equipment: some scales, a measuring jug, some measuring spoons, some baking paper, a pencil and some scissors, a 34cm oven tray, some spray oil, 2 large mixing bowls, a whisk or an electric hand whisk, a spatula or a wooden spoon, a cake tester, a skewer, a toothpick or a teaspoon handle just to make sure your tray bake has finished baking, a cooling rack, a cookie cutter, you can use whichever size you want, and finally a plate. You will also be needing the following ingredients: 3 medium-sized eggs, you will want to separate these into yolk and egg whites, 115 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour, 20 grams of granulated sugar, 70 millilitres of milk, I like to use lacto-free milk, and finally a pinch of salt. So, let's go! First things first, measure out and prepare all of your ingredients so that they're completely ready for you to use, and then preheat your oven to 180 degrees C on a conventional oven, 160 degrees C on a fan oven, or gas mark 4. So now that we have done all that, it is now time to prepare our tray. So for this we will be needing our 34cm oven tray, our baking paper, our pencil, our scissors and our spray oil. So the first thing we're going to do is take out our baking paper, place our 34cm oven tray on top as close to the edges as possible so we waste as little as possible. Can't see with my hair. There we go. And now using our pencil, we're just going to draw around it. There we are. And now we're just going to cut that out. Oh, there we go. Roll that back up. And now using my spray oil, I'm just going to give it a quick spritz, coating the sides really well. There we go. And placing our baking paper into the bottom with the side we drew on facing down, because we don't want any of that nasty drawing stuff to get into our lovely tray bake. And then I personally like to give the baking paper just a tiny quick spritz because it is easier to get it off of the cake at the end. So now that this is all done, place it off to the side until you're ready to bake. So now that we've done all that nasty prep work, it is now time to begin actually making our tray bake. So for this we will be needing our whisk or electric hand whisk, our 2 large mixing bowls, our spatula or wooden spoon and all of our ingredients. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my egg whites to my first bowl. Followed by my salt, not salt. So that is just to keep those safe while I finish doing this bit. So the next thing is to add our egg yolks to our second bowl, followed by our flour, our sugar, and our milk. So now we're going to mix this lot together until it equals a thick, smooth batter. So this is all done, so we're just going to place this off to the side until we're ready to mix these two together. And now we're going to whisk our egg whites to equal stiff peaks. This is going to take a while, but just keep going with it because it's really worth it and that's what makes it so fluffy. Is your one? Yes. Right, I'm just going to turn you up to the highest speed just to get it even quicker, because I think if you turn it up to the full speed to start with, it's just going to send it everywhere. So gradually working your way up, to me, is a good idea. So I'm just going to keep mixing this until it equals stiff peaks. Let's have a look at you. Yep, perfect. So the next step is to slowly fold this egg white mixture into your main mixture, and you're going to want to do this quite slowly and delicately, because otherwise you will waste the entire time that you've just spent making this so full of air. So I'm going to use my spatula, just wipe that stuff off, grab a little bit of it, say maybe a third, and begin with that. And to fold, I personally scrape around the sides of my bowl, underneath, and then drag it over, and then turn the bowl as I'm dragging it over about 90 degrees. Okay, so now that that lot is in there, I'm going to grab my next third. Oh, it may have been a quarter, third or a quarter, just so it's a manageable amount to mix in. And repeat the same process. Okay, next lot. And the final lot. Okay, get the rest of this lot in. Okay, so I would say that that is about perfect. So now that this is all done, we are now going to need our prepared tray. So let's get this poured into here. And then using our spatula, we're just going to spread this all the way out to the sides. And then just using our hands just to jiggle it about that last bit more to make sure it gets in all the corners and is flat. There we go. So now we're going to place this into our preheated oven for 5 to 10 minutes, or until we insert a cake tester, a skewer, a toothpick or a teaspoon handle and it comes out completely clean. After that time, we are then going to place it onto a cooling rack. And at that point we are going to be needing our cookie cutter, whichever size you want to use, and our plate. So let's get you in there. Good luck. So the next step is to decide whether you want to serve this hot or cold. I personally like it hot. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my cookie cutter. I've chosen quite a big one because I'm a greedy little person. And I'm just going to begin cutting out, oh, probably need my towel for this. Cutting out my shapes. There we go. So it's completely dependent on the size you want. I mean, I am now probably, are you going to come out? Are you? There we go. So one. Oh goodness, get myself in my right muddle here. It might be worth using a knife for this part. So the crumbs you can do whatever you want with, because there's going to be a lot of excess unless you use like a very, very small cookie cutter. And there we go. So you can serve these however you want. I personally think with the sugar already being in the mixture, they're quite sweet enough. But some topping ideas that I really, really like are bananas or strawberries and cream and lemon juice or Nutella or chocolate sauce. But it's completely up to you. Let your imagination run wild. And that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the description below, as I love everything in it, including the recipe for what we made today, which will be written there for you, and the links to the flour and equipment you will need for this recipe. If you do make this at home, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and use the hashtag bakingwithvickiie so that I can see all your lovely creations. Let me know in the comments below of anything else you'd like to see me make, gluten, lactose or yeast free, as I do them all. And finally, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!